Good morning, everybody. How are we today? Everybody good? Everybody bueno? It's Thursday. The rain mostly passes by, so we're good. I hope you're doing well today. Good morning, everybody. Hi. My name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. I suppose you know what yours is. Telephone number to call is 850-771-0049. No pronouns. And text it. For the love of God, no pronouns. It makes it difficult. Yes, everybody. We've got a nice couple of days coming up, so it should be a good weekend. A low humidity, low temperatures tonight. We'll go get to the forecast in a minute, but it's looking way up. And yeah. Good morning, Craig. Hello, Michael. I hope you're well, sir. All right. Yeah. All is good. Let's get to the forecast. Today, clouds and some sun this morning. More clouds for this afternoon. High near 89. Winds around 10 miles an hour. Tonight, some clouds. Cooler. Low near 64. That's fall weather, my friends. Humidity about 66%. Then tomorrow, sunny, high near 87. Humidity 51% tomorrow. Do you hear that? Fall is here. That's fall for here, right? Hi, Christina. Yeah, your temperatures. It's 75 in Milton, 79 Gulf Breeze, 77 Navarre, 76 in Pensacola. Welcome, everybody. So, yeah, the weather's going to be absolutely amazing, and you cannot. I love this time of year. It's just yeah, right, John. It is good. So we'll just get out and enjoy whatever you can this weekend. It's nice, and the hurricanes and storms have passed us by. Life is good. All right. I know. It's one of those things. All right, so we've got some things to talk about here, as we always do. This at the BOCC zoning meeting, you got to wonder sometimes. I just don't know what people think. Unofficial Milton Post. Good mornings to you. All kinds of people popping in. Yeah. All right. So, interim Santa Rosa County Administrator Devon Cook, in a polite but firm August 30th letter, said to his fellow employees he made his expectations abundantly clear. This is from South Santa Rosa News. The citizens are our customers. It's our prime mission to serve them to the best of our ability and with utmost respect. Thank you, Devon. Because that is something completely different than what we had from Schiebler, who thought it was okay to lie to you. There's a profound shift here. We're a team. A team cannot succeed unless we support each other. I will support each of you to the best of my ability to make your job fulfilling and productive. He directed the staff to be absolutely transparent and respectful to and supportive of each county commissioner in their official duties. That's another change. The commissioners have been elected by the people to make very difficult decisions in this great county. He said, adding all staff will promptly and without reservation provide commissioners with any information and input they require to perform their duties. He said duty. But he's right. Yes. Finally, there's an adult in the room. You are late, Justin. Yeah. 10 Hail Marys. Devon Cook is a good man. He is a good man. And that is a good, yeah, finally somebody gets it. Dan Schiebler treated people like dirt. He did. He was an arrogant dog. Is an arrogant dog. Um, so yeah, finally we get somebody that has some ethics and some respect. So during Tuesday's BOCC discussions on how to select a contractor to perform the Woodbine Road improvements, Interim Assistant County Administrator Brad Baker explained a plan for 5 employees: Sean Ward, Rebecca Jones, Chris Phillips, Michael Schmidt, and James Cook to have their rankings factored into the decision. Now, he said, we have our staff, and they picked out their favorites. I'm paraphrasing. They picked out their favorites, and you get to choose from their favorites. Huh? Calkins questioned it. He said, "Wait a minute. Um, who's the commissioners? What are we supposed to do? If they've already picked them out, what are we supposed to do?" They picked them out. The staff picked out their favorites and ranked them. Here's our favorite, 1 to 4. If we don't have a way to incorporate staff input, then I guess my question would be, why are we asking them to spend their time and energy into analysis, Baker said. You compile the information. That's it. That's it. I don't need your input. Dan Schiebler presided over the biggest bureaucratic power grab in a generation. Yeah. So you're going to have to, the new administration is going to have to change the entire dynamic of that whole thing. Yeah, well, because he told them that they were. He told them that they were. We run the show. Dan Schiebler thought and basically had the commissioners convinced they work for him. District 1 Commissioner Sam Parker came out swinging. I've never heard of staff getting an equal say as commissioners. Bob Cole spoke up, stating that 18 years serving on the board, voting had never been done that way. It's never been done this way. I don't know if they did sign sexual identity. I don't know. What you do speaks loudly. Yep. I don't know. Oh, I see what you're saying. So what he says, oh, gotcha. Actions matter is what you're saying, Ty, in a very confusing way. Staff should be staff and not the decision makers. Exactly. You collect the info. You give me the info. County staff have way too much power. Only if it's given to them. Now, it was a little bit was wrenched from them last night. Parker brought up Cook's August 30th letter, pointing out that staff had been directed to be transparent and provide commissioners with information up front. He complained of being caught off guard about employees voting on the contractor, suggesting it had been set in motion by Dan Schiebler. Now, it very well could be Dan Schiebler, but that is also a convenient foible to throw under the bus. Who ultimately makes those decisions? You do, county commissioners. And if Dan Schiebler did that, it's because you allowed him to do it, because you didn't fire his sorry lying backside when you had the opportunity to. Well, that's true, Deborah. Staff apparently don't know the old ways out, right? Well, I don't know. They don't understand the right way, and they need to be taught. This is your job. Look, okay, here's first thing you do. First thing you do. You give them job descriptions. I don't know if you've seen this before. This may have never been may have never been done before. Here's your job description. Let's do that before you start trying to do a county commissioner job, right? Baker was appointed by Dan, but I do like Mr. Baker. I do. But here's the thing: is you've got to establish you've got to establish what their job is. That is very vague, Chance. You can't get any more random than that. What? So give them a job description. Here is what your job descriptions. If you're staff, here are your boundaries. That's it. Staff was used on. Well, I believe you're correct. In the end, the board unanimously voted on Mott McDonald, and staff rankings were not used because. And then Bob Cole at the very end says, "I'm just kind of curious where we hit with the staff," and Mott McDonald was at the end of the staff choices. I understand. Whitney, you're correct, but they are not followed. If they were followed, this would not have happened. So I don't know if they're ever given out, if they're signed, if there are employee reviews. Hey, here is your. Have these people ever been in management before? Here is your job description. Let's go over your employee review, and see how it matches up to your job description. That's what a job description's there for. My, no, I understand, but Baker just got started. Give him a chance. Um, no chance. You don't understand. You're not understanding. I'm saying job description for the staff. Staff. I didn't say the county commissioner. Did I say county commissioner? No, it's for staff. An employment syllabus for the brainwashed. What in the world are you people talking about? Part of the issue is that the former administrator also fired and hired some of the staff with people loyal to him. Yeah. Well, you give them the opportunity. And this is the job description. If you can't do this, there's the door. All of you. All of you. I understand. I understand. But how many are being know what it is? Tell me your job description. If I'm a new manager and I'm going in and I'm kind of evaluating my staff, I go in, I'm like, you know what? Hey, tell me what your job description is. I did that as a sales manager at a newspaper. I went in and sat down, and I had all my employees come in one by one. Tell me what your job description is. Tell me what you do. And they looked at me like I'm crazy. But I want to know that you know. That's the thing. They're going through a big adjustment. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Give them an opportunity. Give them an opportunity. Maybe they hang themselves with too much rope, but I don't know. It's customary that if staff participate in, let's say, RFP presentations or bid comparison analysis, that the staff include for commissioners from corporate to public is pretty common. Yeah, you do analysis. You do. It's information. That's what they were. That's what it was there for. But they weren't to rank it. They weren't to vote it and say, here's our choices. I don't know, Sharon. Brad obviously has been in management. Yeah, give him the proper authority. Let him look. Remember, they weren't allowed to. They were hamstrung. You're not allowed to fire anybody. You have to come to the commissioners before you fire anybody. So, yeah, go over it. Set them down. Each and one. All right. Tell me what your job description is. I've got your job description right here. I want to hear it from you. Do you understand what this is? Just tell me. Tell me what it is. Don't read it to them. Don't read it to them. Did you receive this? I've got it in your personnel file that you signed it. So tell me what it is that you do. Um, yes. Well, but listen, I am not opposed to the BOCC having less power. You've seen some of these jackwagons in action. I don't know if I want the BOCC having more power. Maybe, maybe. I don't know, Sharon. Still not allowed to fire anybody because I'm betting there's an employee union. I don't know. But if they're not doing their job, you can fire them, right? If they're not following, you're not following the job description. That's why it's there. It's a balance of power. Well, it needs to be offset because you don't want, listen, do you want Bob Cole running your life, making all your decisions for you in the county? I don't think so. The Bob Cole, Dan Peach, Colton Wright brain trust. I don't want that running things. There needs to be something that buffers them a little bit. So I don't want them wielding total power. Escambia and Santa Rosa counties need to be on the governor's radar. I do not think you're wrong on that, Keith. I do not think you're wrong on that. There's difficulties. But you set these people down and go over it. And the same thing should be done with Brad on his job description. I'm sure he knows what it is. I'm sure he can tell you exactly what it is. But everybody, since there seems to be confusion about boundaries. You must set boundaries. This is your job. This is not your job. Right. No, I get it. I'm not saying anything against that. I agree with that statement. Unofficial Milton Post. The citizens are supposed to be the buffer. The citizens are supposed to be the power. That's where it comes down. That's the problem. Analysis equals ranking. No, 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 no. You line them up. Here are the priorities that I'm looking for. Here are down the side are the companies. Here's what each one ticks. There's pros and cons with each and every one. No, Ty. No. I don't. I just need the facts. I just need the facts. I don't need your opinion as a staff member unless I ask for it. I just need you to give me the info. Here are the criteria I'm looking for. Time frame, cost, all that stuff. I need that. And then here's where each one ticks on that thing. That's it. That's information. I don't need you to rank them. That's what I'll do. I'll go, okay, this one is more, this one does more of this. Oh, okay, I'm wrong. I've never done that before. Never in my life have I done that before. Just compare the job done afterwards, and we'll see if the right decision. Well, I know, and they'll make mistakes. That doesn't mean. Look, Skanska. The Skanska deal didn't work out very well, did it? But they tick some boxes. I don't think that's what he was saying. I don't think that's what he was saying at all. But you get the issue. The issue is these people don't know their boundaries. They do not know their boundaries. And so what was the point of them doing this analysis? They weren't supposed to rank them. You analyze and give information only. That's it. Now, here's the thing. If I'm going to a restaurant and I say and you look at the menu and it says gives a description of the item. That's information. Oh, it has avocado in it. I don't like avocado. Or it's got shrimp. I'm allergic to shrimp. You let me weed it out. You're just giving me information. That is information. That is the analysis of the thing. Now, if they want to rank and say, "Hey, um, these are what we recommend," I don't have to go with that. But I don't pay attention to. Oh, these are their best ones. I don't pay attention to that. Assign staff to gather information. Call it whatever they need to do it. I'm not understanding a lot of this stuff. Cassandra says too many elected officials rely on staff to advise and make decisions for them. Well, yeah, right. Cassandra, you're right. Now, look, so if you are in a government, let's say the federal government, and you're given a 2,600-page bill that you got to kind of go over, you need staff to kind of help sort through it and pick out the important parts because you can't do it. But I don't think that this is the spot because they overstepped their bounds, Marshala. They overstepped their bounds. It wasn't their job. That's why. Because they don't know their boundaries. And that is and that's the crux of it. That's why it wasn't that, hey, I appreciate you thinking, and they did tell them that. But it's not like, hey, listen, you're not curing cancer. You're not know your bounds. You can say, hey, I have some recommendations if you're interested. That's fine. Yeah, exactly, Cassandra. Exactly. Thank you. In public service, you don't step over public officials' duties. God. Yeah. It appears they're given the authority to overstep their boundaries, but by somebody who didn't have the authority to give it to them. Dan Schiebler did not have the authority to give that to them. He didn't have the authority to give them the authority. You got it? Oh my gosh. Okay. We've gone off the rails. Look, the staff was to get information to the county commissioners about Woodbine, about the project, about these companies and what they could do. Here are my requirements. Here are the companies. And you've seen these boxes, pros, cons, check, yes, yes, no, no, right? He, Brad carried it on. Brad carried it on. It was agreed. You watch the video, and you see Sam Parker said, "Well, I talked to Dan, Dan," and they blame Dan. Yes, just help me gather some information. Let me check it out. I mean the 15 hours a month or whatever it is that you put into this job, I think you could spend some time reading, right? 850-771-0049. I'm just, yeah. Okay. You could check out the story on South Santa Rosa News. Santa Rosa Medical Center is implementing a new COVID restrictions beginning Thursday, today. The hospital announced Wednesday that only one essential visitor, immediate family, partner, or significant other, can visit patients, while no one under age 18 will be permitted. If visiting after 5, visitors can only enter through the emergency room entrance. Also, patients in isolation will have additional visitor restrictions. Visitations only permitted between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. and will be confined to patient room only. Common room areas, the waiting rooms, are not open to visitors. Additionally, the hospital says if someone's traveled from a high risk area for COVID or had contact with someone infected with COVID, they cannot visit. There you go. They would need somebody on staff, but no one wants that. They just want to do their job, which indicates research and pass to commissioners. I've done thousands of proposals. It's expected that analysis ends with the ranking based on if, but that's not these guys' job. If you have a staff that's their job, that's their job. That's not these guys' job. We see this in a scamby all the time. Staff recommendations should never be a thing. BOCC members shouldn't be contractors, financial advisors. They need full time to decide their own recommendations. Yeah, you wanted the job, do the job. You wanted the commissioner job, do it. If we have staff doing that, we don't need you. We'll pay them staff wages and save the BOCC county commissioner salary. This is interesting. Enrollment at West Florida's Baptist Academy grew by almost a quarter just this school year. It spurred leaders of the school to embark on a $1.5 million expansion project. Yeah, they're growing. They're growing. It's a private Christian school. It's growing. And you can thank this one. Yeah, that's part of the part. They ought to send her a big bouquet of flowers. The school, which houses 3-year-old pre-kindergarten through 12th grade, will break ground on 6 classroom building next week. The school's seen an exceptional amount of growth in the past 3 years, jumping from 350 to 530 students in that time, adding about 100 of those students just this school year. We're utilizing every single room in 3 different buildings we have here already, said Administrator and Principal Linda Bacon. West Florida Baptist new facility will be the school's first major construction project in 12 years. It'll add 7,200 square feet to the school that likely will be used as elementary classroom space when it opens next school year. The space is needed because the school could have had a student population of 600, but they were at max capacity. They're turning people away. They have students on waiting lists. I don't know what all this means. I'm hearing a lot of grumblings about new school locations. Oh, yeah. Look, this is awesome. I am so happy that West Florida Baptist Academy is booming. It shows what we've been talking about. People are so tired of the public school system. Santa Rosa Christian School had huge growth numbers. Yeah. Listen, I hear this all the time, that these Christian schools are at max capacity. All of them have people on waiting lists, have students on waiting lists. Why is that? Well, I know, but we did. And now we're reaping the whirlwind, or this twisty, swirly thing that we don't call tornadoes anymore because Joe Biden says we don't use that. We'll get to that. Don't worry. It takes 20 years for those decisions. You're still off on that. All right. But they're breaking ground. They're growing. What is the long range? You've got these public schools dealing with CRT and transgender stuff, and we don't know what sex we are, and all those kinds of things. And people have had enough. They've had enough. You blew the chance to educate my children. I want a voucher. I want out. I am not paying these teachers. We're not going to do that anymore. We are done with you. Now, with the growth of these private schools and Christian schools, does Santa Rosa need to build more schools, public schools? Is that now a thing? Do we need to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on schools that people are fleeing? 850-771-0049. Just a thought. I look at it this way. If you have decent grades, okay? If you have a student that has decent grades, we're going to make virtual an option for you. You can do virtual as long as you maintain your grades. If you don't maintain your grades, the virtual's gone, and you have to come back to brick and mortar. So all you students, you pull those students aside. These are high-performing students. You have the opportunity for virtual. Oh, that's not fair. Yeah, it is, because these other ones, if they want to do virtual, they have to bring their grades up. And then you don't have to spend millions of dollars on these school buildings. How long are those vouchers good for? I don't know. The RuPaul Middle School. Oh my. Maybe just $1 and lease to Christian schools from. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Roger. But it should be if you've got students that are performing well, because that was the big thing. These students are not performing well in virtual. Good. Okay, you take the good performing students and you allow them to do virtual. They don't have to do virtual, but you allow them to do virtual. That would probably weed out a bunch. They would stay home, and you don't have to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on new schools. No, I don't want to be on the school board. But you could take, those of you who want to run can take that idea. Some actually do terrible in brick and mortar and do well in virtual. Yes, exactly. But you've got to weigh it out. But that's how you start it. Every time they go, we got to build more schools and spend millions of dollars. No, maybe you don't. Many students go virtual online to be out of social maelstrom. Yeah. And if you want to have that option, you want to have the option for virtual, get your grades up. And there you go. I don't know. That's just a thought. A judge decided Wednesday that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' ban on school mask mandates cannot be enforced while the state appeals the judge's ruling. Judge John Cooper overturned an automatic stay Wednesday that had been put in place last week by the state's appeal. DeSantis and the state's education officials have threatened school districts with financial penalties if they adopt mask requirements without a parental opt-out provision. Yet another reason why you don't want your kids in the public school. We'll get to that. Don't overstay. We're still got plenty of time. Some 42% of people living in Santa Rosa County are fully vaccinated as of September 7th. The CDC considers someone fully vaccinated 2 weeks after they've been given a single dose of Johnson & Johnson or a second shot of either Pfizer or Moderna. Florida reported 3,352,451 people, total cases of coronavirus, an increase of 4% from the week before. That's a total cumulative. 5 counties with the highest percentage of their population fully vaccinated in Florida as of September 7th are Sumter at 78%, Miami-Dade at 68%, St. Johns County at 66%, Sarasota County at 63%, and I can't read the other one. That's all messed up. So there you go. 42% of Santa Rosa County is fully vaccinated 2 weeks out after their second shot or the single dose Johnson & Johnson. Don't do that one. Don't do any of them. Can if you want to. Knock yourself out. See, I'm going to get this. Monoclonal antibody treatment has been found to reduce hospitalization and death from COVID by a stunning 70%, with almost no side effects. It's based on preliminary findings and recent studies. It's also been shown to shorten the duration of symptoms by 4 days. Yet awareness of the treatment is abysmal, and that's in large part due to the efforts or lack thereof from Joe Biden and his administration, most notably himself. So monoclonal has been shown 70%, reduce hospitalization and death by 70%. I know. Hey, listen, if you got a coffee cup, I'll tell you to get a coffee cup here in a little bit. But if you got a coffee cup, I want you to take a little video of yourself with your coffee cup and say, "Good morning," and send it to me. I'm going to use it in a collage. But if you want a coffee cup, instant message me. And these mugs are $10 each. That includes tax. $10. And we'll get y'all taken care of. That's how we roll. The hospitals aren't letting inpatients have the monoclonal. Well, you don't have to go to the hospital for it. It's right. It's in Escambia County. It's in Okaloosa County. Go get it. I'm glad you're still here. If you get the monoclonal within 10 days of first symptoms, it's most effective. Yes, you got to have it within 10 days. Vaccines can be given if there are treatments. What do you mean, Sharon? Explain that statement. If you have a monoclonal treatment, you can't have a vaccine? I don't think that's true. I don't know if that's true. A 10th school board meeting in Missouri on face masks resulted in a brawl in the parking lot of a high school that included several people throwing fists. The meeting took place on Tuesday night at Pleasant Hill High School and included a tense debate on the topic. The board voted unanimously to require masks, the report said. Thousands of Missouri children have been diagnosed with COVID since the new school year began. At least one rural school closed for cleaning after an outbreak. Cleaning doesn't do anything. I mean, you need to clean it, but it doesn't stay on surfaces. We learned that shortly after the pandemic last year. It doesn't transfer that way, but they closed for cleaning. Pleasant Hill School Board approved a mask mandate after reporting 28 positive COVID-19 cases and 180 quarantines. It doesn't matter if you're vaxxed or not for the monoclonal. Good. Because the patients don't know they can demand it. No, that's true. It is an ignorance thing brought on by our government because they want you to get the vaccine, not the monoclonal. I don't know. I don't know what any of it means. California lawmakers have shelved bills aimed at requiring workers to either be vaccinated against the coronavirus or get weekly virus tests to keep their jobs. One measure by Assemblywoman Buffy Wicks, that's a great name, would have required all workers to either get the coronavirus vaccine or submit to weekly testing. Another bill by Assemblyman Evan Lowe sought to make sure state law protected businesses that chose to require their workers to be vaccinated. On Wednesday, more than 1,000 people gathered at the state capitol to protest the vaccine mandates. Organizers said they wanted to let lawmakers know they opposed the bills, and they did, and it was defeated. Um, share. I will throw a temper tantrum bigger. Wait, temper tantrum bigger than any kid has ever done. I know. Katie says, I keep asking over and over again whether there are no requirements for biohazard waste disposal of masks. It's a good question, Katie. Good question. Health data. Listen to this one. You're going to hear this. Health data coming out of Maryland is reportedly leading to growing concerns about the waning effectiveness of the vaccine, especially against the Delta variant. While the data still shows that the majority of state residents hospitalized with the virus are unvaccinated or partially vaccinated, meaning less than 2 weeks out from their second shot, the vaccinated are starting to account for a larger share. Infections, illness, and hospitalizations are increasing rapidly among fully vaccinated people. That's according to data from Maryland Department of Health. The trend has led some public health experts to argue it's time to reframe thinking about the message on vaccines to note that they won't necessarily keep you from getting sick, but will increase your chance of survival. Over the past 3 months in Arundel County, about 30% of the people hospitalized with COVID are fully vaccinated. There's a similar time frame trending in neighboring Howard County, where health officials said roughly 30 to 40% of people hospitalized with COVID are fully vaccinated. So now it's almost half. Hmm, nice. There's never an answer from government officials or med professionals. They don't have to answer you. Good morning, you. I'm sorry. Uh, how you doing? Oh my. What is this? Maybe tomorrow's show, look up the Israeli COVID numbers. I've been looking at that, Keith. I've been looking at that. But I'm trying to do, unless it pertains to what we're doing here. Uh, I don't even know where to start with Biden. I do want to hit this. Let me get to it. Some staffers in the Biden White House would rather miss their boss speak in public than endure another gaffe. Anxiety about what President Joe Biden might say if he takes questions from the media drives some in the White House to mute him or turn off his public appearances altogether. I know people who habitually don't watch it live for that reason, an unnamed official told the outlet for the report. It focused on occasions when Biden strayed from messages crafted by the West Wing. Biden made frequent flubs during his press events and other appearances by losing line of thinking, stumbling, and forgetting names. The president mistakenly referred to Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer as Jennifer during an event in August, called a black gentleman boy. Mm-hmm. He said President Harris when referring to Vice President Kamala Harris. On Tuesday, Biden asserted during a briefing about the damage incurred from Hurricane Ida that tornadoes are called something else now. The members of Congress know from their colleagues in Congress that, looks like a tornado. They don't call them that anymore. That hit the crops and wetlands in the middle of the country in Iowa and Nevada. It's just across the board, Biden said at a press conference in New Jersey. What? Maron. So there you go. The Biden administration on Wednesday removed 18 appointees named to the U.S. military academy boards by Donald Trump in the final months of the Republican president's term in office. Kathy Russell, director of the White House Presidential Personnel Office, sent letters to 18 people named to the boards of visitors for the Air Force Academy, Military Academy, Naval Academy, calling on them to resign by close of business on Wednesday or they'd be terminated. Among those Biden ousted are some high-profile former Trump administration officials. Kellyanne Conway for the Air Force Academy, Sean Spicer for the Naval Academy, National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster, others. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki confirmed that the former Trump officials were asked to resign or face firing. I will let others evaluate whether they think Kellyanne Conway or Sean Spicer and others were qualified, Psaki said. Listen. But the president's qualifications requirements are not your party registration. No, we depend more on what your sexual identity is, what the color of your skin is, how disenfranchised you are. This is pretty rich for the Biden administration to scold people, the Trump administration, on people's qualifications for service, as we have a transgender whatever on the cabinet. They were chosen because they're transgender. There are people chosen because they're Latina or because they're gay or because whatever, not because they have qualifications. No, it's because of their identities. Well, it probably isn't known in this group, but they don't care. Yeah. Where do I want to go from here? A Silicon Valley investor was fired from the board of one of the world's largest apparels companies after she said she didn't believe in Black Lives Matter because they were the true racists. The private email containing the comments from Veronica Wu was obtained by Axios. Wu was responding to an email in 2020 from an office manager inquiring about whether the company would celebrate Juneteenth, the holiday celebrating when news of the Emancipation Proclamation reached Galveston, Texas. He went on to explain that it was part of the focus of the Black Lives Matter movement. Wu responded by saying she didn't support Black Lives Matter. This is why I'm particularly not supportive. I've lived in the country as a minority and women for all my life. I have not experienced much racism or discrimination as a minority or female by and large. I was able to get opportunities to compete as fairly as I think. I truly believe this country, by and large, is not a racist country. Not to say there are not people who might be. There might be minority and some extremists, but it's by far not the biggest problem this country is facing. I don't believe in Black Lives Matter. If anything, I think they are the true racists trying to stir up things and make this country going to socialism or even communism potentially. And she was fired as being a minority and a woman because she didn't support Black Lives Matter. Preservation Board meeting at 5:30 City Hall. Okay. That's it tonight, correct? Biden administration officials and Democratic economists are warning congressional leaders that if action is not taken soon to raise the country's $28.4 trillion debt limit, ruinous injury could be incurred by the American economy. In a letter to top lawmakers on Wednesday, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen characterized America's financial situation as teetering on the edge of catastrophe, noting that without intervention, the U.S. government would run out of cash by next month. Based on our best and most recent information, the most likely outcome is that cash and extraordinary measures will be exhausted during the month of October. Others, too, have sounded the alarm, forewarning that effects of a debt default or government shutdown could be irreversible. Well, stop spending all that money. Stop giving out money like candy because you ain't got it. We ain't got it. Cut back. Listen, they want to increase the debt ceiling. No, why don't you just start tightening your belt? That's what I have to do. If I'm running out of money, I don't go, you know what? I'm just going to raise my credit limit. I'm going to go further into debt because I mismanage everything. That's what you want to do. To someone who has a spending problem, you want to just increase their debt limit because that's responsible. No. In short, a default would be an economic cataclysm, CNN reported. Interest rates would spike, the stock market would crater, retirement accounts would take a beating, the value of the US dollar would erode, and financial reputation of the world's superpower would be tarnished. It's Trump's fault. It'd be financial Armageddon, said Mark Zandi, a Democratic economist who leads Moody's Analytic. He told the network it's complete craziness to even contemplate the idea of not paying our debt on time. So we raised the debt ceiling. Fed is out of bullets. Yep. Yes, John, it's already tanked. Oh, and now the left is wanting to do $26 an hour minimum wage. We've hit 15. We hit 15. John, it's China. We've got to $15 an hour just because, but now the left says you can't live on that because housing's gone up, everything's gone up. The price of food has gone up thanks to Joe Biden. Price of cars has gone up. Everything's gone up. Gas. And so $15 an hour. So now they want 26. They want $26 an hour. During Trump's administration, almost everything he did, a federal judge would immediately block it. I don't know. No matter how high you put the minimum wage, it'll always be a minimum wage because everything else will go up. Yes. Yes. But that's too logical, Michelle. You can't think that way. You can't think with logic with a Democrat. They don't know that. Yep. Elizabeth says, and there's no more money left to steal on Social Security. Yeah. They failed to tell you if you pay more, all the price goes. Yes. You never win. You do not win. All right. How much time I got? Over the course of 92 days, CNN has failed to reach 1 million viewers on 53 of them. Roughly 58% of the summer, according to Nielsen data. The network averaged just 603,000 in total day viewership. That's a 42% decrease from summer 2020. At one point this summer, CNN suffered a 13-day stretch without ever reaching 1 million viewers throughout the entire day. Excuse me. That's July 28th through August 9th. The breaking news of Cuomo's announced resignation broke the network's streak of six-digit viewership on August 10th. CNN's primetime lineup, which provides the network's most watched programming, sent a whopping 80 out of 92 days below 1 million viewers. A devastating 80% of the time and marking over 50% drop from last year. They're sucking. You cannot run a national news network that way. You cannot. You can't. How long does CNN have? Can you pull it out? Is Cuomo going to pull you out? He's a top-rated program. And he's sucking. Chris Cuomo Primetime, the most watched show, averaged a measly 948,000 viewers from June through August, falling below the 1 million viewers over 2/3 of the time. So there you go. Yeah. You're exactly right. Don Lemon and Costa and, yeah. They're stinking. They're stinking. Oh. Nobody's watching it. It's only on in the airports and hotel lobbies. That's it. That's it. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick wants the state legislature to take up a bill that would allow for audits of the 2020 election once lawmakers reconvene for their third special session in a few weeks. According to the Houston Chronicle, during a telephone town hall on Monday, Patrick told supporters that an election audit bill is one of his priorities for the upcoming legislative session. As Lieutenant Governor, Patrick presides over the Senate, and during the last session, he helped fast-track the bill, which failed to advance before the close of the legislature's second special session this year. Sorry. Patrick and other Republican supporters of the audit hope to pass it during the third special session. So let us check it out. Let us run the audit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. You got Donald Trump on. You want some more Trump? You want to get Trumpy? Donald Trump is scheduled to provide commentary from ringside Saturday for an exhibition boxing card with Evander Holyfield. Throwback. Trump will be joined by his son Donald Jr. in Hollywood, Florida for the alternative feed for the bout card, which will be available on pay-per-view. It'll be $49.99. It'll be available through mobile and smart TV apps. Both Trumps will be in the building. It was going to be staged in Los Angeles originally, and Oscar De La Hoya was going to fight, but he got COVID. And so he dropped out. He's hospitalized. He dropped out, and Evander Holyfield is going to step in and do it. There you go. Good morning, Mr. Harper. So you can get some Trump on Saturday night in boxing. Angie and I love boxing. We may be there. Not in person. Pay-per-view. Do what you got to do. All right. So, look. Everybody find your balance. Know where you stand. Look, the staff for Biden, they're saying he's either going to resign, he's going to be forced to resign, or he's going to be taken out with the 25th Amendment. His staff. That's his staff saying that. Be ready for whatever comes next. It ain't going to be pretty. It's going to be interesting. Trump's pay-per-view commentated boxing match on more viewers than CNN. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think I'm going to host a pay-per-view event of a boxing match from a Waffle House. Waffles and boxing, what's better? All right, kids. Dinner and show. It's dinner and a show. All right. Send me a message if you want a mug, $10, and we'll get them to you. Would love to have you. All right. If you have a mug, get a video. Say, "Good morning, Nick. Good morning, sunrise or risers," whatever you want to say, and we'll put together a video montage. That's a low hurdle to beat, CNN. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. See you, kiddies. All right. God bless you. Like the video, share the video. Hey, thank you to our sponsor, Gulf Coast Gun. Go see them, gulfcoastgun.com, and let them know you appreciate them. All right. Chris had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Chris. And God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Stay strong.